Oh, I'm gonna start recording right. Okay. What was that? Was that somebody's clock or something like that?
That was my laptop. Mac like tells you the time every hour, so.
Okay. So guys, here's another one. Let's see here. A skyscraper. Skyscraper. If you had to measure the length of a skyscraper, would it be 325 meters? Now think about meters. The yardstick is 39 feet 3 inches. Or would it be 32.5 kilometers, guys? Which one?
Kilometers?
Kilometers.
Ooh, okay. Now let's chat a little bit. Okay, 1 kilometer, guys, is approximately 1,000 meters. Now think about the meter. Okay, a meter stick is about 3 feet. That's 3,000 feet.
Meters.
Yeah. So be careful with this one. So this one would actually be the meters. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Be careful with that one, guys.
Okay.
All right. Next one. Let me see here. Let me what one? Oh, room. A room. The length of a room, guys. Is the length of a room going to be 4 meters or 4 centimeters? Which one? 4 meters or 4 centimeters for a room?
4 meters.
Yes, definitely 4 meters. And then let me see the dimensions of, no, that one is good. Okay. The length of a football field, would we measure that in meters or kilometers?
Kilometers.
That, oh.
Meters.
Am I wrong?
Meters.
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 Okay. So a
Meters.
football field, anybody know how long a football field is?
12 yards.
I'm
50
writing
yards.
something.
Oh, 50?
50 yards? Really?
Yeah.
100.
100
Mike,
yards.
what do you say, Mike?
100 yards.
A football field is actually 100 yards. So you
Whatever, Mike.
measure a football field in meters. Yes. So approximately 300 meters, okay? Approximately. That's not exactly. Because remember earlier we said 1 yard is approximately 0.9 meters, okay? So yeah, about 300 meters is a football field. Okay, let me see. What's another one? How about a car, guys? How would we measure the length of a car? Meter or kilometer?
Meters.
Meter.
Meters. By the way, kilometers, okay, in the metric system, you have kilometers. The equivalent in the English system would be miles, okay? So for example, when you guys go to the middle of the state, especially around the Orlando area where we have a lot of international visitors, many times as you're driving down the road, you will see where it converts the miles to kilometers, okay? So we'll have both measurements, miles and kilometers, to accommodate those visitors there, all right? So now, I wanted to go into the assignment and do some examples with you guys. Do you guys feel like I need to go into the assignment to do some examples?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, who is that one?
Sam.
Okay, Sam, let me go ahead and go in and grab some examples. And I am going to go into the homework, all right? Hold on a second, give me a moment. Let me get this one set up for you.
This thing is amazing. It's much better than the Blackboard Collaborate.
Really? You prefer this one? Me too. I prefer this over the Blackboard Collaborate.
The Blackboard Collaborate is such a mess.
You know what it is? We don't have the right tools to be able to write on the whiteboard. And so a lot of people were just running around like crazy trying to figure out what equipment to use. But on Zoom, I'm currently using my tablet here, okay? What happened? Did I just shut it down? I certainly did, okay? Hold on a second, guys. Let me get it back on because I just shut it down. All right, so on Zoom, I'm able to use my tablet in order to write my notes down. So all I did was join in on my tablet as a user. And so I projected, I'm sharing actually my screen on my tablet with you guys. That's what I'm using as the whiteboard. Now, when I went into Blackboard Collaborate, I had to use my son's sketchpad and that wasn't pretty. That wasn't pretty at all, okay? So guys, here we go. So Sam said, okay, let's go over some of the problems. I am in the homework section. Number one, guys, it says to go ahead and convert 45 inches to feet. And earlier, remember I told you guys, if you go in from a small unit to a large unit, which is what this is, feet is greater than inches. So what would you guys do? Would you divide or would you multiply? If you're going from a small to a large unit. Ooh.
Divide.
Divide.
Divide. Okay, so the next question you have to ask yourself is, how many inches are in a foot? Now, if you look at your conversion chart, it's 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. So all you really have to do is you take your 45 inches and divide it by 12 inches. So this will simplify to, somebody do this on a calculator, please. They want you to round these, by the way, to the nearest 100. So this is going to be
3.75.
3 what?
75.
75 feet. All right. And there you go. That's it.
That's easy.
Yes, it is. And I don't know if you heard everybody else earlier. Some people were saying, oh my God, this is so easy. Okay.
Well, in comparison to chapter 10,
Right.
I was ripping my hair out.
It's the formulas in chapter 10 that gets everybody.
Mhm.
All right, guys. So 36, this is number 2, 36 inches to yards. Well, what do we know? We know 1 yard is approximately 3 feet. And we know 1 foot is approximately 12 inches. So how about we do this? We take the 36 inches divided by 12. Okay, that's going to convert it to feet. So that will give us 3 feet. And then to calculate the number of yards in 3 feet, well, actually, wait a minute. 3 feet is exactly 1 yard.
Yeah,
So there's your answer.
3 feet.
Oh, that was so easy.
So 12 divided by 36.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
36
Yep.
divided by 12 gave you 3 feet. And then you could do 3 feet divided by 3 feet. Now, the other thing you could have done with this one is this. Let me go ahead and go to a new one. Since 1 yard is equivalent to 3 feet, that means that 1 yard could also be equal to 36 inches. Okay, so you could have just taken the 36 inches and just divided by 36 inches, and that would have given you the number of yards. And there you go. All right. Now, next one. Let's see here. Do we have anything challenging in here? That's easy. 3 is easy. Okay. Now, for number 4, guys, they have a nice little chart on here on the screen for number 4. It's actually listed on the conversion sheet that I gave you guys. They want us to convert 16.8 hectometers to meters. Now, hectometers is which one? Greater than or less than meters, guys? What do you think? Greater than or less than? Hectometers. It's on that little chart there.
Greater than?
Okay. It is greater than. Now, let me quickly write this down because I'm not sure if you guys are on the screen where you can actually see this. So this is what it looks like, guys. So here's the meters we're trying to convert it to, okay? And here's the hectometers we're going from. So we're going from hectometer to meter. When you're moving from a large unit to a small unit, what do? You multiply. So we're going from hectometers to meters. So what we do is we're going to skip over decameter, which is times 10, and then we're going to go over to meters, which is another times 10. So in order to convert this one, you're going to take the 16.8, you multiply it by 10 times 10, which is 100. Now, if you want to just do 10 times 10 like this, you can, or you could just do 6.8 times 100. Now, guys, this is the same thing as moving the decimal.
Okay, that's what I was just going to ask. Can't we just move the decimal over those two?
Right. 2 places to the right. Because we're going from a large unit to a smaller unit, we just move the decimal over 2 places. So if you move it over 2 places, that's adding 2 zeros. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
All right. Now, once again, guys, this one is directly on the screen. The formula sheet is on the screen, so you don't have to worry about memorizing this one, all right? By the way, the test has 25 questions. Some of the questions are multiple choice, and some of them are free response, okay? Now, here comes the next question, very similar to this one right here. Let me just quickly copy down the chart. And on this one right here, guys, okay, I'm just copying the chart from the screen right here, DAM, and then meters, decimeters, centimeters, and millimeters. Okay, this one they want us to convert 0.024, let's see here, millimeters, that's an mm, guys, okay, to meters, okay? So we are going from millimeters to meters. So for this one, we're going to actually take the decimal and move it over 1, 2, 3 places. Are you guys okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
So if we take the decimal from here, we move it over 1, 2, 3 places, we're going to get 0.00024. And that's your answer. If you want to write the leading 0 in here, you can also write the leading 0 there as well. So,
is this like the King Henry died drinking chocolate milk?
Yes. That
Okay.
mnemonic device, it is in the textbook. I just don't like referencing these old mnemonic devices.
Yeah.
I prefer something modern, okay? Now, did I come up with something more modern? Nah, I didn't, but it is in the textbook, guys. King Henry something, 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 okay? I don't like talking about
King Henry died drinking chocolate milk.
Henry died drinking chocolate milk somewhere. King Henry died drinking, what did I, Monday, drinking chocolate milk. King Henry died on Monday drinking. Yeah, I know. It's like dear old Aunt Sally. I told the students a long time ago, stop using dear old Aunt Sally. I mean, I used it when I went to school. She must be dead by now. You can't keep using that. So that's why we use PEMDAS. No, seriously, guys. Dear and Sally used to confuse people like crazy. So we just use PEMDAS, okay? All right. So basically, guys, all of chapter 9 is included in this one homework right here, okay? Now, the next question, number 6, they give you 28 inches, and they want you to convert that to centimeters, okay? And they give you the little chart to help you with the conversion. So you're going from inches to centimeters. Now, according to this, excuse me, you have exactly 2.54 centimeters and 1 inch. So I'm just multiplying this by the unit fraction. By the way, when you're going from a large unit to a small unit, because the inches are larger than the centimeters, you're going to just multiply. But I'm using the unit fraction so I can show you how the answer comes about. What happens is that the inches, they get eliminated, they get canceled out. What are you left with? Right here, guys, centimeters. So you're just gonna go ahead and multiply the 28 times the 2.54 and keep the centimeters. Whatever that comes out to be. I don't know exactly what it is. You guys can plug that into a calculator and let the calculator do it for you. All right.
71.12.
Thank you, 71.12. Awesome, okay? So keep up with the rounding, by the way. And remember, guys, if you're doing your test and for some reason you have some full response questions on there, I would go ahead and write down the notes, write down my problem, make sure it's organized on a sheet of paper, just in case you get some of those questions wrong. You can snap a picture of it, send it to me so I can check to see if I can give you some partial credit on your problems, okay? Now, here's the next question. This one, they want you to convert 176 miles to kilometers. And for this one right here, 176 miles, you would multiply it by the unit fraction. What's the unit fraction? It says 1.6 kilometer is approximately 1 mile. So here, you would go ahead and eliminate the miles and then multiply 176 times 1.6, and that would give you your answer.
281.6.
281.6?
Yeah.
All right, 281.6. And this one right here was problem number 8, guys. Number 8. All right, number 8. All right. So I think I'm ready to move on to this. Oh, actually, you know what? This is a good problem. Number 9. So they're giving you some items here. You have to determine which unit of measurement is the best one for each of these situations. A person's height, would you measure that in millimeters, kilometers, or meters?
Meter.
Meter, all right. By the way, millimeter is the smallest, meters in the middle, kilometer is long distances. Meter are short distances, and then millimeter are tiny objects, guys. Tiny objects, like the width of a penny or something like that, the width of a nickel. Those are millimeters, okay? Now, the length of a football field, we just talked about that. The length of a bee. How would we measure the length of a bee? Millimeters or meters?
Millimeter.
Millimeter. The distance from New York City to Washington, D.C., that would be what?
Kilometer?
Kilometers.
Kilometers, definitely, long distances. The perimeter or distance around the house?
Meters.
Meters.
Yeah,
Meters.
meters. The length of a car, we talked about that earlier. The width of a book?
Millimeters.
Meters. The altitude of an airplane?
Kilometer.
Kilometers.
The diameter of a screw?
Millimeters.
Tiny
Yeah,
enough,
Millimeter.
millimeters. The width of a human foot?
Millimeters.
Millimeter.
I don't know about that one. I would use meters on that one. No.
The width of a human foot?
Uh-huh.
It would
That's-
take you forever.
That's
like-
smaller than a meter.
It is.
The
Absolutely.
answer is millimeter on
Millimeters.
here.
Yeah, it's millimeters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, could you use meters though? Yeah, you could. It would be just be a decimal. Yeah. All right, guys. So I think section 2 is next. Now, section 2 is on area and volume. Now, area has to do with coverage. And when we talk about area, guys, and I'm sure you saw this in chapter 10 already, area, when we talk about it, has to do with coverage. And
Are
so,
we-
okay, like the area of a, let me see, a room. That would be the floor of a room, guys. If we're talking about the floor of the room. So that has to do with area. Now, if we're talking about, let's say, the amount of tiles or carpeting we need for a room, all of these, they have to do with area. When we talk about area, we talk about area in terms of square units. So it has a length and it has a width. So here, when we talk about these guys, we are basically looking at 2 measurements. We are multiplying 2 measurements together. 2 measurements together. So one of the ways to measure area is to use a square unit. And when we talk about a square unit, we're looking at a square where the length as well as the width, they're both 1 unit long. So if we were talking about in terms of inches, each side of the square would be 1 inches. If we were talking about feet, each side of the square would be 1 inch. I mean 1 feet, 1 foot, Shazam. Okay, so guys, if we're looking at the area of this, to calculate the area of a square, we multiply length times width, or we take one of the sides and square it. So the area would have to be 1 square inch. So what do you need to remember about area? Area, when you measure it in square units, guys. Area has to do with coverage, like finding the amount of tiles you need to put on the floor of your home, finding the amount of carpet you need to put on the floor of your room, okay? And so when you're measuring area, you are measuring a length as well as a width. So area has to do with coverage. All right. Now, I do have some of this listed on the conversion chart that I gave you guys. And this is also listed on the problems, directly on the problems, the conversion charts, okay? And so when you guys are going through this, use the conversion charts on the screen, all right? Now, one of the points that they make on here is this, guys, okay? I'm gonna give you some formulas. Some of these were not included, so you might wanna write this part down, okay? So here's some of the ones that were not included. 1 square foot, okay, is equivalent to 144 square inches. Now, let's think about this. Why is 1 square foot 144 square inches? Well, in order to come up with square feet, we have to multiply foot times foot. Now, each foot is approximately 12 inches. So essentially, you're multiplying 12 inches by 12 inches. And when you multiply these two amounts together, you get 144. And because you're multiplying inch times inch, that gives you inches squared. Does that make sense? All right. Now next, 1 square yard, guys. Remember, 1 yard is 3 feet. So if we're going to square it, we're going to square that 3. So it's going to give us 9 square feet. Any questions about this part?
This is already in chapter 10, correct?
This is not on my conversion chart, okay? This is in the textbook. Some of it, let me see here. Hold up a second. Let me see what's on here. The square units, you know what? I don't see the square units on here. So I would just go ahead and copy this down. It is in my math lab as you're doing the problems. It's in the textbook. So I would go ahead and just write some of them down. Some of them you might not even see them.
9?
Huh?
Is this in 9 or in 10?
No, this is still in 9. This is all of 9.
Okay.
This is 9.2. 9.2 has to do with area and volume. Now, chapter 10, we're done with already. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, guys, I'm going to give you these next 2. It's up to you how you want to take this, but we don't use this information as frequently unless, of course, you're in real estate. Okay? An acre, 1 acre, okay, is approximately 44,356 square feet, or 4,840 square yards. Now, I'm not asking you to memorize any of this, guys, because most of you will never use this in your lifetime. I am just giving you information that you should be aware of, okay? And then 1 square mile, oops, I'm writing this one wrong. 1 square mile, hold on a second, there we go. 1 square mile is approximately 640 acres. And I wrote that one wrong too. There's too many 4s right there. Okay, 640 acres, okay? I'm just giving you this information so you are aware of it. This is not information that you need to memorize. You're never going to use this unless, of course, you're in real estate. Okay, guys? And then one last one. 1 acre is approximately, and this is used on an international level, 0.4 hectares. Now, the hectares,
What's the difference?
okay, this is equivalent to the metric units. This is metric, and that's English. So we use acres, they use hectares. Does that make sense? So this is a metric unit, and this is an English unit right there, okay? And so as you
Can I ask a question?
Yes, Go ahead.
Back up to the 1 acre equals 4,356 square feet. Or it looks like you have a 0, 4840. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
So it's equivalent to 4,840 square yards.
Yeah.
But how is 4,356 square feet the same as 4,840 square yards?
Oh, I wrote too many numbers. Shazam. Okay, yeah, I did. Hold on a second. I wrote the wrong number here. Okay, let me double check on this one right here. Hold on a moment. You're right. Let's see. 43. Oh, the problem is right here. Okay, it's 43,560 square feet. I left out the 0, but you're absolutely right. That would not make any sense whatsoever. Okay, you're
right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, someone just asked, what is the difference between hectare and acres? Obviously, when we talk about an acre, guys, it's only 0.4 hectares. So if somebody tells you, I have a hectare of land for sale in Canada, they're not talking about 1 acre. They're talking about way more than 1 acre, all right? So if they're talking about 1 hectare, you're probably looking at about 3 acres of land. Does that make sense? All right. Now, let's go ahead and move on. Let's see here. The next part of this, guys, is to look at some of these problems. Now, on problem number 11, they're asking this question. 18 centimeters square. You got to convert it to inches square. How do you convert this to inches square? So on this one right here, you would take your 18 centimeters square and you multiply it by the unit fraction. By the way, the conversion chart is given to you on the screen. It says 1 square inch is approximately 6.5 square centimeters, okay? So we're looking at converting from the, hold on a second. All right, let me fix that for you. Okay, there we go. We are converting from the metric unit to the English unit. So in this one right here, we're multiplying 18 centimeters squared by 1 inches squared over 6.5 centimeters squared. So the centimeter squares would cancel out. So then you would take the 18 and divide it by the 6.5 in order to come up with the number of inches squared in 18 centimeters squared, guys. So if you were to take a calculator and divide this 18 divided by 6.5, that would give you 2 point something. Somebody put that on a calculator.
76.
What is it?
2.76.
2.76 inches squared. And be careful with the rounding when you guys are doing the rounding, okay? All right.
Why did you divide?
Why did I divide? Because the centimeters here, they're smaller than the inches, so that's why I'm dividing, okay? Remember, guys, earlier I told you this. When you are going from small to large, you're going to divide, and when you're going from large to small, you're going to multiply, okay? That's key when you're doing the conversions, all right?
I have a quick question. Now, you you converted like a metric to an inch, but they gave you the whole inch and centimeter already. But normally we would have to do a proportion to bring it over to that same unit, right?
That's what I did when I multiplied by that unit square. Now, this, I wouldn't necessarily call it a proportion, because when you talk about a proportion, you're talking about two equivalent fractions. This is not two equivalent fractions. And when you solve a proportion, you cross, multiply, and divide. Here, what I am doing is simply multiplying by the unit fraction, okay? So, in order for me to retain the measurement that I want to make sure that the measurement I want is in the numerator. The measurement that I don't want ends up in the denominator, so it can be canceled out with the other one. You have to multiply it by the right unit measure. We're multiplying. This is not necessarily a proportion. We're just multiplying fractions. Now, something else that might help you guys is to take the 18 centimeter square and put it over 1. So you can see, wait a minute, we're just multiplying two fractions here. That's all we're doing. So you multiply the numerator with the numerator with numerator, as in 18 times 1, and then denominator with denominator, 1 times 6.5, and then you just divide. 18 divided by 6.5 gives you your answer. But guys, don't make it complicated. If you are going from a small unit to a large unit, you need to divide. Okay? And if you're going from a large unit to a small unit, you need to go ahead and multiply. That's all you really need to remember about this. All right. So now I am going to go ahead and go into the liquid measurements, guys. Liquid measurements. Now, when we talk about volume, we're looking at the capacity of an object. When we talk about capacity, we're looking at liquid measures. And we could also be looking at dry measurements too, like how much cereal can fit into a box, how much juice can fit into a gallon. Now, I did include the liquid measurements, the volume measurements on the conversion chart for you guys, but I will quickly go through it again. 1 cup is approximately 8 ounces, guys. And for those of you who are very comfortable around the kitchen, you will remember these, okay? Now, 1 pint, okay? 1 pint is approximately 2 cups. Now, guys, quick question for you. If 1 pint is 2 cups and 1 cup is 8 ounces, how many ounces is in a pint? Anybody?
16.
16 ounces. Very good. All right. Next, 1 quart is exactly 2 pints. So if 1 quart is 2 pints, how many cups are in a pint, guys? How many cups? This one would be 4 cups. Yep. Okay. Now, if you wanted to go further, you can even ask how many ounces, but we're not going to do all of that. Okay. So next, 1 gallon is approximately 4 quarts. And remember, 1 quart is exactly 2 pints. So if you got 4 quarts would give you 8 pints. Now, you can even take it further. If 1 quart is 4 cups, then you have 4 quarts. 4 quarts times 4 would give you 16 cups. And then last but not least, I'm trying to write it on here for some reason. It's not writing. Okay, there we go. 16 cups. And then last but not least, guys, remember 1 quart is 4 cups. And each pint basically represents 2 cups, which is 16 ounces. So if you have 8 ounces in 1 cup and a gallon has 16 cups, to calculate the number of ounces in a gallon, we would go ahead and take 16 and multiply it by 8. Can somebody multiply 16 times 8? How many ounces would that be?
128.
128 ounces. So a gallon of juice has 128 ounces in it. All right. Now, when we're looking at measuring volume, guys, I am going to erase all of this. In the metric unit, what do we use to measure volume, guys? In the metric system, what do we use? We use, what's the basic unit of measurement in the metric system for volume, guys? Anybody? All right, we use liter, okay? You know, like a liter of soda, a 2 liter of Coke, a 2 liter of Pepsi, and so forth and so on. All right, now volume involves cubic units. Cubic units. So when you're multiplying, guys, to find volume, you're going to be multiplying 3 components. And so because you're multiplying 3 components, you're going to be using cubic units. So be careful with this. Now, here's a couple of other measurements to pay careful attention to. 1 cubic yard is approximately 200 gallons. 1 cubic yard is approximately 200 gallons when we talk about volume. For example, if you had to fill up your pool with water, okay, and you knew the number of cubic yards in your pool, all you would have to do is multiply each one by 200 in order to figure out how many gallons you're going to need to fill up your pool. Now, next, 1 cubic foot is approximately 7.48 gallon, guys. And then last but not least, 1 gallon is approximately 231 cubic inches. Okay, by the way, this one right here, let me see here. It's not included on the conversion sheet, but this is in my math lab. All right, guys. So let me do a couple of examples with this. Now, for this one right here, we've got, hold on a second. I am in number 13, and they want us to convert 3,300 gallons to cubic yards, okay? Now, we're gonna multiply this by a unit fraction. So we're going to take the 3,300 gallons and multiply it by a unit fraction. Now, remember, we are converting gallons to yards. When I just gave you the formulas earlier, it says 1 cubic yard is approximately 200 gallons. Now, since we want to get rid of the gallon, we have to make sure the gallon ends up in the denominator. 200 gallons is approximately 1 cubic yard. So we eliminate the gallons, and then we simply take the 300 divided by 200 and keep the cubic yards to get your answer. So take your calculator, 3,300 divided by 200, guys. That'll give you approximately 16 point what?
I didn't.
5.
Okay, you didn't get that one?
No, you said you divide or multiply?
Divide. You take the 3,300. You see how the 200 is in the denominator and the 3,300 is in the numerator? You're going to have to divide them. Now, if you want to, oh, what happened here? Okay, something happened. Oh, okay, guys. I'm losing my connection here. Hold on a second. Are you guys seeing a blank screen?
Now I can see you.
I see you.
Okay.
I just don't see the board.
No, I know.
Yeah, I don't see the board.
I know. I hit something and it's completely blank. It says it's connecting right now. So give me a moment. It will connect. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna excuse myself for a second and get a glass of water, if that's okay.
Oh, no problem. Just turn off your camera, that's all. Okay, guys, I'm having technical issues with my little tablet here. Hold on a second. Let me see. I might have to reconnect on here. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, because it says you left completely.
Really? Oh, okay. So let me see.
You might have to join it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna join it again. All right, so let me go ahead and go in and find the meeting ID. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully you guys have the problems written down. Oh, look at that. Okay, hold on a second. I'm trying to get the meeting ID. Anybody have the meeting ID?
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome. The meeting ID is 934.
934. Go ahead.
720.
720.
443.
443.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you. It's going in. Samantha, do you have a question?
That was a long time ago.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. You answered it.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Next time, if I don't answer it, just go ahead and type it into the box. Ooh, I'm seeing the dog. How are you? Aw, look at that. What a cutie pie.
She gets antsy if I don't hold her.
Aw. Yeah, my tablet is acting up, guys. I think we might have to end this meeting soon. This is what I'm getting on the screen. Look at that.
Ew.
Yeah. I don't know why it did that, but for some reason it's not working. Okay.
What iPad is that? It's huge.
What? Ooh, I have no clue. You know what? My family loves buying me these gadgets. I don't know. Okay, I just know it's an iPad. No, including the computer I'm on. They bought. Okay, so I'll tell you the story. So my I like having my Samsung cell phone. I don't want to switch over to an iPhone. So since my kids are going off to college, it was like, okay, we need to FaceTime with you. And so I'm like, I refuse to give up my Android device. So they went out and got me this one, okay? So I can FaceTime. And then the other day it was like, Ma, you're doing so much work on the computer. You need a really nice computer. So for my birthday, they went out and got me a MacBook. So that's what I'm on right now, okay? So the MacBook obviously speaks very well to the iPad, so I can go ahead and connect with my iPad. And that's how they get, but I refuse to get an iPhone. I refuse. I love my device, my Samsung Note. I love it. It's old, but it works. It does the job, okay? So I'm not switching to an iPhone. All right, guys. It says it's unable to connect. All right, so I'm having internet issues. Okay, so I don't remember exactly what I was on. I just remember converting that 3,300 gallons. 3,300, what was it? Yeah,
3,300 divided by 200.
Yeah. Okay, so let me see. Let me look at the problems and see what else I need to go over with you guys. And then, guys, the last section has to do with the temperature conversions. All right, let me see here. I'm trying to get to the assignment. Hold on a moment.
Is it just me or is it breaking up badly?
It is?
No.
Well, I'm having internet problems, serious internet problems then.
Okay.
Hold on a moment. Let me see if I could fix some of this.
I suspect we're going to have all kinds of internet problems with everybody else being on the internet.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm with you on that. Okay. Yeah, because a couple of people had to drop off because Their internet connection is very weak, apparently. Okay. All right, guys. I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, I'm having a tough time figuring out. Oh, there we go. All right. So I went back into the assignment again. Let me see. I'm looking at these questions. I don't see anything that is too difficult on here. So let me ask you guys this. Do you guys want to ask me specific questions that I can go over with you?
Sure.
Any specific questions? I'm sorry about
I have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
So for all the assignments and stuff, are they all going to be due on next week or?
Well, all right, let's have this conversation because normally with the assignments, let's see here, somebody's emailing me here. Yeah, someone just got kicked out. Okay, so normally with a regular class, I set up the assignments so they coincide with the test day. But since we don't have class on a normal basis, we're having online class. It's up to you guys what you want to do. I don't mind pushing back the assignments until the 23rd. By the way, guys, the 23rd is our last day of class. And yes, we are going to take a final exam. The final exam is probably going to be 30 multiple choice questions. I haven't received a copy of the final exam. So once I get a copy, I will inform you as to what the final exam is going to look like. Now, how we do the final exam is probably going to be on my math lab. We can't do a face-to-face. We're under quarantine right now. We have to shelter in place. So
I have a question.
the
The final exam, is that on the last few chapters that we do?
No. It's cumulative. Because it's a comprehensive final exam, it's going to cover every single chapter we've discussed. So chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, these 2 chapters we're currently working on, as well as the next chapter, which is going to be over the stats and probability. Yeah.
Is there going to be a DNC for the final exam?
I will definitely put a DNC together for the final exam. I think I may have had one in there from a previous class I did. I'm going to have to check for you. But yes, absolutely, I will do a DNC for the final exam. Now, the other thing is, since you guys are going to be doing this test at home, I don't think I need to review with you per se. But do you guys feel like you would need a review? Give me a thumbs up if you need a review.
How many more chapters do we have left?
Well, we only have chapter 12 left. And chapter 12 is going to be covered very lightly. That's the probability and statistics section. That's it. Yeah. And the other thing you guys have to realize is today is the 2nd. So we really have 2 more classes before the final exam. Okay. Oh, wow. So next Thursday, I'm probably going to do some of the probability and statistics with you. Since we're done, well, if my technology was working, we would be done with chapter 9.
You said chapter 12, but is that actually chapter 11 that we have left?
Let me see. Hold on a second. You might be right because they changed the numbers on here. Yep, chapter 11. And chapter 11, guys, it's going to be covered very lightly. Just some basics of probability, okay? Here's a deck of cards. What's the probability of selecting an 8, okay? The statistics, we're not going to get too heavily involved in that. So here, you have to make a hamburger, okay? You have a whole bunch of different toppings to choose from. How many different types of hamburgers can you make using these different toppings, okay? And that's the counting principle. Then you've got your permutations, combinations, and all of that will be covered very lightly. Nothing too heavy. Just enough to make sure you guys have the information you need for the final exam. Now, let me see. What else did I need to tell you guys?
I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna be teaching MGF2107 in the summer?
Okay, that's another issue altogether. All right, so guys. Okay, let me see. How should I put this?
Because I spoke to they called me today night. I have to. That's my last math class, but they just advised me that all the summer classes are gonna be online.
Yes.
So I need someone that's gonna be good.
Okay, so here's the thing. Right now, everything is up in the air. We don't know when this coronavirus is going to blow over. And so to be on the safe side, they're going to move all the summer A classes online. Okay. So my thought is this, and you guys can go ahead and jump in there and say what you need to. Okay, most students, especially my adult students, they prefer to do the classes in person, face to face. They don't like the atmosphere of being online because sometimes there's so much distractions at home, you really cannot get any work done. But if you were to go into the school setting, you would actually get a lot of work done. So many students, I think, would prefer to be on campus, but we don't have that luxury of being on campus right now while this virus is running around. So
I have a question for you. As Bianca, that's my last class as well. So if you were to offer that class in summer A, right? When you start allowing us to start registering for that class?
That I can answer. They start the registration classes on April 10th. Now, am I going to have one of these classes? I typically do teach 2107 over the summer, but right now they don't know how many students are going to sign up for online classes. That's the problem. So if there's a limited number of people who sign up for these online classes over the summer, that limits the number of professors who can actually teach them. Yeah. So everything's up in the air. That I cannot give you, and Nikki had wrote me about that too. So I can't give you a firm answer, guys. I really can't. I don't know.
What my advisor had said to me this week was that if there's 100, for example, if there's 100 students that registered for an online class, what they're going to do, and if it's like, say, 40 students per class, they're just going to pool, like take the first 40, assign it to this professor, take the second 40, assign it to that professor. So you don't know who you're going to be assigned to.
Yes. Yeah.
And according to I think registration starts on the 6th.
On the 10th.
Yeah, I got an email saying it starts on Monday. It got pushed back.
Oh, it got pushed on Monday.
It was supposed to be the 30th this past Monday, but they pushed it back to this Monday.
Right.
April the 6th.
I heard it was April 6th. Right?
April 6th?
Yeah.
I don't know. I read somewhere where it says April. Oh, you know what it is? That's the drop deadline. That's the withdrawal deadline. So you guys are probably right on the 6th. Yeah.
So let me ask you guys, have you all heard from your advisors?
I have.
Not really.
IRSC called me today, and I mean, she was pretty nice. Her name is Helen. I can give you the phone number. She works in the financial aid department, but I know she was calling several students, just asking them if they needed help with their Blackboard or Workday, or if you had like any questions, just because they helped me with those kind of things. So I mean, it was pretty helpful. I mean, at least they're on top of the ball with it. I'm happy.
Good. That's really good.
The only discouraging part for me in this whole transition is the ESC lab, because they had called and provided the hours for the ESC, and I said, okay, I work, so I'm not able to utilize any of the tutors that's available 8 to 5. So she said that she was going to voice that to somebody else, but she never got back to me about it.
Now, here's the thing. I don't know about you guys, but there's so much technology out there where we can actually have a live tutoring session like this on Zoom. all they really have to do is contact whoever's over the lab, and they set up a large conference room like this on Zoom. And for those of you who want to get the tutoring, they just send you that ID that I sent you out earlier, and you can get into the room and just do your work and ask questions, raise your hand and ask questions whenever you can. But I think the problem is that sometimes, you know, people aren't willing to go the extra mile to get it done. And so you guys, you are the customers. You need to speak up. If you think this platform right here that we're using is going to help you to get through these courses, because our goal is to make sure you guys pass these courses so you can move on to the next step. And what's another one? Well, they don't use Skype anymore.
GoToMeeting we used to use at my old job.
Yes, that's another one. GoToMeeting, that's another one. You know, Bianca was saying earlier
that this Zoom. Yeah, I do have to say that this Zoom is so much more practical.
Yeah.
You know, just because like I had a class on Monday and it was, you know, all over the place and everyone was talking and it was just so messy, and the professor, like, it was just a mess. This is way much better. I mean, the Blackboard Collaborate also doesn't allow you to kind of, because we have to do a PowerPoint presentation with a group, which I don't know why, but you know, with all this stuff, it's so hard to reach out to people. Like, I feel weird bothering people with all this going on. So, like,
you have to remember, this is your grade on the line. And
yeah, so
you still have to make sure you pass your classes.
The professor wanted us, you know, to share this PowerPoint on Blackboard Collaborate. It doesn't let you. But with this one, I see you can update, like, you can upload like files and stuff, which is pretty cool. So this is way much better.
Well, good. I'm glad. So now that you know about it, my iPad, somebody got my iPad. They have to listen to their customers. Okay. So have that conversation.
I have a theoretical question for you. If you were to be teaching the online course, like during the summer, would you be doing something like this where you do like a live teaching thing?
Much better.
But what I'm trying to tell you guys is this: any of the professors at the college can do this. All they have to do is be willing to do it. This was not difficult, guys. And the beautiful thing about all of this is that it's being recorded. So anybody who misses this session, all I have to do once we're done with this meeting is go ahead and take the video and upload it to Blackboard, and you will have that video. You can always go back and reference it. I mean, it's the same thing they're trying to do with Blackboard Collaborate, but I found Blackboard Collaborate to be lacking. There was so much missing from it. Yeah. So my iPad is back on. So do we want to continue? All right, guys. So what I want to do, because I don't want to keep you that long, I want to let you out by 8:30-ish, okay? So I want to go ahead and just quickly run over some things from lesson 9.3, and then I will let you go. If you still have questions for me after I'm done with this, you're welcome to stay after, and then we can have a little conversation about whatever you want to discuss. All right. So in lesson 9.3, guys, 9.3, quickly, this is about measuring weight and converting temperature. When we talk about, you sound like you have a question, Mike.
Oh, no. Here, hold on.
Okay. When we talk about weight, the most common measurement we use in weight is pound, okay, or ounces. 1 pound is equivalent to 16 ounces. And I believe I gave you guys that one too on the conversion chart. And let me see here. Yes, I certainly did, okay? So the most common measurements that we use for weight are pounds and ounces, primarily pounds, all right? And then, of course, every once in a while, when we talk about the size of a car, the size of an elephant, we measure it in ton. 1 ton is equivalent to 2,000 pounds, okay? Every once in a while, guys, you'll see this right here, a ton, T-O-N-N-E, all right? Now, this is equivalent to the metric ton, okay? So, when we talk about weight in the metric system, we use gram to measure weights, like kilogram, milligram, okay? So whenever the root word, you see the root word gram, we're talking about measuring weight. Now, additionally, in this section, guys, go ahead. I thought you had a question. All right. Additionally, we're looking at converting temperature. Okay. Now, when we talk about temperature, there are 2 temperature scales we use. We use Fahrenheit and we use Celsius. Here in the US, we commonly use Fahrenheit. However, internationally, people prefer to use Celsius. Now, we use formulas to do these conversions, and the formulas, I listed them on the conversion chart. So if I wanted to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius, guys, the formula I use for that is C equals to 5/9 times the quantity, F minus 32. I'm putting a C here. That's supposed to be an F. F minus 32. All right? That's to convert Fahrenheit temperatures to Celsius. For example, in Orlando, when our international visitors come over who are very comfortable with Celsius, and we have our temperatures in Fahrenheit, many of them, okay, many of these places that you go to around Orlando, they will have both temperature measurements. They will have Fahrenheit, they will have Celsius. So if somebody wanted to convert the Fahrenheit temperature to Celsius, this is the formula that would be used. Now, vice versa, if you wanted to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit, the formula for this, guys, is F equals to 9/5 of C plus 32.
I think the bottom of your tablet gets cut off on our screen.
Okay, all right. So let me go ahead and go to the next page. Hold on a second. Let me create a new page. Okay. So if you're going from Celsius to Fahrenheit, the formula we use for this is F is equal to 9/5 of C plus 32. Now, the beautiful thing about this formula, unlike the previous one, guys, this 9/5 right there, you can convert it to a decimal. You can get an exact decimal for this. So the other way you can write the formula is using the decimal 1.8 to represent the decimal of 9/5, and then times C plus 32, all right? So in this particular section right here, all we're discussing are weight and temperature. And that's it for the remainder of the chapter, guys. That's it for the chapter, okay? So let me go ahead and quickly run through some examples for you. Let's say you go to Orlando and it is 85 degrees, okay? And somebody wants to know, 85 degrees Fahrenheit, and somebody wants to know, oh, what is the Celsius temperature? So for this one right here, we would go ahead and go to our little formula. We'd do C equals to 5/9 of F minus 32. So you would go ahead and do 5/9 times 85 minus 32 and work it out. Now, guys, you've got a fraction in there, so be careful when you plug this into your calculator. Do not round these until the end. So for this one, you would do the 85 minus 32, okay? Figure that out. 85 minus 32 leaves you with 53. And then to calculate this, you would take the 53, multiply it by 5, and then divide it by 9. So let me write this down for you guys. You would do 5 times 53, and then divide it by 9 on your calculator to get your Celsius temperature. Somebody throw that on a calculator, please. What does it come out to?
29.4.
29.444.
29.4 degrees. 29.4 degrees, okay? That's not too bad, is it? All right. Now, let's go ahead and flip this around. This time, you are in Canada. In Canada, it says the temperature is 25 degrees Celsius, and you want to convert this to Fahrenheit. So you go to your formula, guys. Fahrenheit is equal to 9/5 of C plus 32. So you would do F equals to 9/5 times 25, and then plus 32. Now, on your calculator, I would suggest you do this. You take the 9 multiplied by 25, and then divide by 5. Or the other option is to cross simplify. 5 goes into 25 5 times, and then 5 times 9 is 45, and then 45 plus the 32 will give you 77. So 25 degrees Celsius is approximately 77 degrees Fahrenheit.
I did not get that. Hold on, let me try it again.
Okay, that's okay. We can go over it again.
25.
All right, so let me go ahead and do this for you instead. Let's use the decimal. So for the decimal, remember 9/5 is 1.8. This might be better for you. So you take that 1.8 multiplied by 25 and then add 32. This should be easier. Okay, remember 9/5, if you take 9 and divide by 5, that gives you 1.8. So 1.8 and 9/5, they were the exact same thing. For most students, they're more comfortable with this, okay? So you just go ahead and plug it into your calculator. 1.8 times 25 plus 32, okay? Any questions, guys? So that's the temperature conversion. Now, let me go ahead and look at some of the weight over here and see if we could convert some of them. Now, I just noticed, guys, at the bottom of the conversion chart, on the weight part, because it's got a little chart at the bottom, it says 28.3 grams is approximately 1 ounce, and 2.2 pounds is approximately 1 kilogram. I did not put that on there either, but here's a question, and this is question number 23 here, and it is asking us to convert 37 ounces to pounds. We got to convert 37 ounces to pounds. So guys, ounces is smaller than pounds. So because we're going from a small unit to a large unit, okay, all right. So guys, we're going from 37 ounces to pound. Remember, 1 pound is approximately 16 ounces. So all you do is take the 37 divided by 16. So you take your 37 ounces divided by 16 on your calculator, round it to the nearest hundredth, and that will give you your answer, guys. So give it a try. What do you get? 2 point blah, blah, blah. What's the answer?
2.31.
2 point what?
31.
Okay, very good. Okay, we're going from small to gram. Now, which one is smaller, kilogram or pound?
Kilogram.
Kilogram is smaller?
Yes.
Divide.
Say that for me one more time.
Divide.
Okay.
Multiply.
Multiply, all right? So guys, look, if you